In today's video, I'm going to break down Ocelotl in For Honor. I'm mainly going to talk about his moveset, combos, punishes, and feats, and gear perks, whether you are new or trying to improve your game with Ocelotl. This guide covers everything you need to know about Ocelotl, so let's get straight into it. At first, let's go ahead and talk about Ocelotl and his playstyle. Ocelotl is a hybrid hero and is a medium difficulty, like his difficulty is medium, with excellent dodge attacks, high pressure mix-ups too. Good at poking from mid-range a little bit, like just good at poking from a little mid-range as well. Also great at just chasing and initiating ganks with his moveset. He really is good at that. And he's also good for sometimes punishing whiffed attacks as well with his like side dodge light attacks. Really good for just punishing with attacks and whatnot. Now his weaknesses can sometimes, he can be a bit predictable sometimes. Lights of course can be reacted of course by high tier players. You do have to try and do a little bit of conditioning here and there. Just try and condition your opponent as best you can. And then with that out the way, let's go ahead and just go into his moveset and break that down real quick. Alright, so going over Ocelotl's lights, Ocelotl has lights that have good speed and are decent for interrupting attacks. Ocelotl's heavies aren't too bad, they're a little slow-ish, but they are pretty much good for catching people sometimes if they're trying to dodge a little bit. Sometimes they're pretty much good. They do 24 damage and cost 12 stamina. And of course, if you go for a chain heavy after the first heavy, you get an unblockable heavy that deals 28 damage. Which this move, I don't want to mispronounce the name of the move itself, but it's called Warpath. So pretty much, this is what it is right here. You press heavy and heavy to get this unblockable attack here, which would do 28 damage for the second chained heavy unblockable. If you were to start off with like a light into the heavy, it would become a third chain hit unblockable and everything. So pretty much you could just mix it up if you want to go for light heavy, or you can go for heavy light into the unblockable heavy if you want to, and just mix it up. But really though, if you start off with the light, you go for heavy into the unblockable heavy to mix it up. You can do something like that if you want to. And also he has a chain light as well, which does 12 damage for the first, then 10 for the second, which would give it 22 damage. And also, let's not forget about Ocelotl's Skull Smash, which Skull Smash, you can do it after any attack. So after a heavy, you can go for Skull Smash, or after the zone, you can go for Skull Smash here, which it does around 18 damage, and it does cost 12 stamina. Now, if you do press Skull Smash again here, you'll be able to do 22 damage. As you see, Ocelotl just it goes up to the opponent and just like slashes their neck or whatnot, and does 22 damage right there. You can do that. You pretty much just gotta press X again or guard break to do this. And also, one thing that I did forget to mention is that with the Skull Smash, you are vulnerable to a GB if you do miss. That's one thing I missed. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Next, let's take a look at Ocelotl's Zone. So Ocelotl's Zone here, it does around 14 damage and costs 30 stamina, and it does have hyper armor at the end of the move itself. Now you can also press the zone again, and you can get the secondary zone here, or this chain zone, as you see here, which does have hyper armor, and if it does land, it'll do 24 damage, and it only costs 12 stamina as well. But you can also feint that and go for a GB if you want to, just to mix it up on your opponent. And of course, you can mix it up to anything you want to afterward. If you land the zone the first time, you can go for a light right after, or you can go for a heavy. You can go with anything you want to. You can go for Skull Smash too, but the zone is pretty much good for not getting interrupted while you're attacking. So yeah, the zone pretty much good for just not getting interrupted. Now, with all that in mind, Ocelotl can do infinite chains. As you see here, go light, heavy into light, heavy into light, heavy into light, heavy into Skull Smash, light, heavy. I can just do this infinitely. Ocelotl has like an infinite alternating chain in his kit, so he can pretty much just go for light, heavy on a different side if he wants to, and just do it differently. Now, of course, you don't want to do this, since of course you will be running out of stamina if you do that, but that is one thing that you can do if you want to be a bit and just see what your opponent might do next. I mean, honestly, it is up to you. I wouldn't want you guys to spam the attacks, but that is up to you, honestly. If you want to just spam them, you spam them if you want to, but that's just up to you. Alrighty, moving on, let's go ahead and talk about Ocelotl's like dodge attacks and his bash. So Ocelotl does have a bash, which is called Jaguar's Grudge, which this front forward bash is mainly his opener, and if you do connect it, you get a guaranteed light right after. Or you can go for Skull Smash after you do that light and everything, and keep on doing it if you want to. Like, again, infinite chain. But you can do pretty much anything you want after getting this off. Or you can just go for it again. Next, we have Jaguar Claws, which is Ocelotl's front forward dodge light attack that deals around 15 damage. It's good for closing in gaps, like big gaps like this right here. And it's also really good for just chasing people down if they tend to run away sometimes. And of course, you can add this with Skull Smash. You can do Skull Smash after this move here and go for whatever you want. Alright, next we have Jaguar's Tail. This is Ocelotl's side dodge light attacks that deal around 14 damage on both right and left. They're pretty much good for punching those who whiff their attacks pretty much. And of course you can go for Skull Smash if you want to. Or pretty much any other move after. The light, heavy, or you can go for the zone too. Alright, next let's talk about Ocelotl's Hunter Stance. Now, Ocelotl does have a Hunter Stance as you see here. If you're in Hunter Stance, all you gotta do is just hold down on the right stick, you'll be in Hunter Stance. Hunter Stance is not that bad. It's also really good for just dodging the opponent's attack sometimes too. You can definitely do that. It's weird, but it's a weird timing you gotta get down if you want to dodge the opponent's attack. It's like Nabushi in a way. You can get some damage with the Hunter Stance by pressing the heavy button. You'll be able to do this like crowd control type of damage, heavy. That does around 16 damage, also adds 8 damage afterward. And you can go for Skull Smash if you want to. I usually go for Skull Smash afterwards sometimes. You can go for the heavy, or you can go for zone. Anything afterward you can go for after you land this move. Honestly, this move here is really good for just ganking. It's good for initiating ganks and just helping your opponent out if they're like in trouble. And it's also really good for chasing people down if they tend to run away. So yeah. So here's Ocelotl's running attack. It does around 16 damage on the right side. Okay, that's pretty much going to do it right there for the moveset. Now let's go ahead and go over some combos that I know to help you practice with Ocelotl, or you can use them in game. It really is up to you. But let's get into it. Alright, so whenever I play with Ocelotl, I like to sometimes throw my heavy out and go for unblockable at the start of a duel. If I'm playing in duels or whatnot, always throw out your unblockable heavy. See if they either parry it or if they just take the damage. Alright, so for this first one, I like to go front forward bash, into light, into Skull Smash, and go for Skull Smash again to get that 22 damage. Alright, so for this next one, I'll go for light, heavy, feint, the unblockable heavy, go for the heavy, go for bash, into light. This next one is sometimes utilizing the zone because I will utilize the zone a bit more in Dominion. I have to go for light, into zone, light, feint the zone, into heavy, light, into zone again. For the next one, go for front forward dodge light, go for front forward bash, light, and the light. Now this one is situational, honestly. If I go for the side dodge light, go for side dodge light, into heavy, feint the heavy, go for the bash, into light, into light. Now for this last one here, I'll go for light, into heavy, into zone, light, into light. This one's more of like a spam-it-ish kind of combo, but it's a combo that I'll sometimes do. If they parry it, they just parry it, honestly. Because with Ocelotl, you have to remember that he can be very predictable. Alright, that's going to pretty much do it for these combos here. Again, you can use these as practice combos, honestly. You don't have to use them in-game. I mean, if you want to use them in-game, it's up to you, honestly. But I usually use them for practice. But if you want to use them in-game, you can use them in-game, or you can use them in practice. It's up to you. But I highly recommend you guys also come up with your own combos, something that you're used to whenever playing with this character or any character for Honor. Alright, next, let's go ahead and go over max punishes for Ocelotl. For a light parry is a heavy. For a heavy parry, go for the front forward dodge light. For guard break is heavy. For wall splat is also a heavy. Okay, so these are just mainly basic max punishes. If you want more info to these punishes, I will leave the information hub down below in the description. That way you guys can go check out the information for the max punishes. I'm going to go ahead and go over the feats that I take for Ocelotl in 44 modes, being Dominion, Elimination, and Reach. I'm going to pretty much go over all the feats that I take. And also, if you want more information to the feats, I will have the For Honor information hub down in the description again. But let's go ahead and go over this. So I'm taking pretty much the entire first feats. I'm taking all the first feats. Alright, so for the first one, I'm taking Huntman's Spirit. Is the passive, become a spirit upon dying, slowly returning to life. Spirits can move undetected but cannot attack. You pretty much become a spirit if you do die. Pretty much if you like get hit with a light attack and you're dead, you'll slowly return to life. Spirits, of course, can move undetected but cannot attack at all. The second one I'm taking, Invincible Mark, is a passive. Enemies that kill you are marked for a short time. Their location is revealed and they take extra damage. So pretty much if I do get killed by an enemy, they are marked for a short time. And the location, of course, is all revealed and everything. So they pretty much are revealed by everyone on the map. And they take extra damage too. I don't know if it's everyone on the map. It could be just you just locate them, or pretty much everyone on your team. Not too sure on that. The third one I'm taking, Quetzalcoatl's Blessing, is a passive. Killing enemies temporarily grants extra attack damage and increases the speed. a bit more. You're getting a bit of a speed buff and attack damage buff. And for the final one is Trapper's Reach. Throw a spear to damage and bleed foes, pulling them into a guard break. Only usable in guard mode. So it's only usable in guard mode. So whenever you are in guard mode and you see someone like say far away from you and you want to just bring them close, you can use this feat here to bring them close, guard break them, and if you're near a ledge, yeah, you know what you know what's coming, bro. But ultimately, this is a good feat for just dealing a lot of damage, and it does bleed damage too, so that's pretty cool as well. But these are all the feats that I'm taking. Now, for the other feats, Ocelotl has Iron Lung, Tireless for tier 1 here for the first, for tier 1. Tireless is honestly situational, but I decided to just go for Huntsman Spirit. For tier 2, he has Executioner's Respite and Bear Trap. Tier 3 has Protected Revive and Second Wind. And for tier 4, he has Regenerate and Stalwart Banner. Really good feats of their own. They're honestly very situational. I decided to just go ahead and get Trapper's Reach to be able to just, well, one, do a lot of damage, but also get the opponent that's like far away, or if they're running away, get them. Just go ahead and just get them and just bring them closer and just deal a lot of damage to them. But yeah, these are all the feats that I'm taking with Ocelotl in Dominion. If you want to take these, you can definitely take these. If you want information to all these other feats, I will leave the information hub down in my description again for you guys to go and check out if you want to. Alrighty, everyone, I'm going to do a quick overview of all of Ocelotl's gear perks. So let's get right into it. So for the first one, he has Radiant Rebound. Upon spawn or when revive, gain 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. For the second one, he has Remedy. Upon hero kill, heal plus 10 health. For the third one, he has Feline Agility. When gaining a renown level, gain 4% move speed for the first, then 2% for each subsequent level. Then for the fourth one, he has Supersonic and Revenge, gain 15% movement speed and uninterruptible sprint, which persists briefly after Revenge ends. For the fifth one, he has Clever Tactics, capture a zone and use banner / offerings 15% faster. For the sixth one, he has Rise and Dawn, revive allies to 75% health. And for the final one, he has Rapid Refresh. Upon takedown or when reviving an ally feast, active cooldowns are reduced by 5%. I would highly recommend you guys try to get Rapid Refresh if you can. It's a really good feat, and I've seen a lot of people take Rapid Refresh whenever they take Ocelotl or pretty much any other character that has this type of gear perk. Pretty much would recommend you get Rapid Refresh. For the others, you can go for Clever Tactics. Clever Tactics isn't that bad, and I would also say, Feline Agility, but it is up to you honestly for the last one. Clever Tactics and Rapid Refresh would be the ones that I would say go for the most. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope this video does help you understand or improve your gameplay with Ocelotl. Ocelotl is more of a ganker / initiator in ganking in For Honor, guys. You got to remember that. You want to initiate your ganks with him. You also want to just take your time whenever playing with him sometimes. You just don't want to be too aggressive with him because he's also very, very predictable. He really is. Like some people say he's not, but he can be very predictable. His lights and his heavies, they are predictable. If you're facing a really good Ocelotl, of course, then you're going to have a really rough time, honestly. But other than that, he is a really fun hero to play with in For Honor, so definitely would just try him out and just get to play with him, and I hope this guide does help you. But don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe for more. But if you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and check out this video on how to improve your life parries in For Honor right here, or you can also go ahead and click subscribe right here.